Hi, this is Kate from Izzalicious Designs, and today we're going to do Cinderella with the detachable skirt. As you can see, she just pops out here, so you can actually change her skirt into a different type of skirt. If you wanted a tutu or a short skirt or something like that, you can do that. So what I'm going to do is teach you how to do this. Now, the other tutorials for Rapunzel and for Snow White, we've done the skirt on the new monster tail, but there's a lot of you that don't actually have this, so today we're going to do Cinderella's skirt actually on the loom, and then if you have the monster tail you'll still be able to get an idea of how to do it by either watching one of the other videos or getting an idea on how to do it from the loom on the monster tail, but then at least we'll have both methods covered. So as I said, we're going to do it on the main loom today. So we're going to get started, and we're going to use a single loom. It's going to be in the offset configuration because you're going to be making your little girl on it first. And we're going to have columns 1 and 3 slightly lower than column 2. The arrow is going to be facing toward you. I know that's really weird for the people that make bracelets, but that's just the way it is. So the arrow facing toward you. If you don't have an arrow, it's the open part of the peg that faces towards you. The colours that we're going to use, I'm using clear for her shoes because they're glass slippers, flesh tone for her body. I'm using the glitter blue from Rainbow Loom for her body, for her dress and her bodice, white for her gloves. I have a black band for her necklace, and I have yellow for her hair, and I have a jelly blue for her headband. And I'm also using black mini pony beads for her eyes. Okay, so we'll get started, and we're going to be double banding, which means you take 2 bands and you place them on the peg as if they were one, like that. Okay, now we're going to move to skin tone colour, and we'll make her face. And I like to put my crossover band here, which is a single band that I stretch across these 3 pegs, like that. Now for her eyes, I like to take a single band and twist it once, twice, 3 times, and place it across the pegs that I'm going to be putting the eyes on. And I do this, but it's a trick that was taught to me by one of my followers. It stops the eyes, the beads, from falling to the back of the loom, which is a really good idea. So for the actual eyes, I'm using the mini pony beads, and I've threaded them onto my hook here. I'm using a 2.75, the Crochet Dude hook, and they fit down quite nicely on that. Use whatever method you like for threading these. I have a tutorial on making a threader from a twisty tie. You can use floss, whichever is your preferred method. String them on the band, and we're going to put it from one side to the other on these 2 pegs, and then we're going to split that band in 2, take the top part, and we'll just put that above this peg with the bottom part being underneath that peg. Okay, so that is her face. We're going to do 3 flesh tone bands for her neck, and we're also going to place our little black band here on her neck, and we're going to put it on and twist it once. Okay, oh, I'll do it on my fingers instead. I'm trying to make it so it's not too tangly. There we go. Okay, so for her shoulders, we're back to 2 bands. And I'm just going to use my hook to straighten those out, and for her chest area to push these down. Okay, now we are going to be using sparkly blue, as I mentioned, so we're going to do 2 sparkly blue here and 2 here, and we're going to have 3, 4 down here, so 1, 2, 3, yeah, 4 and 4. Do the same on the other side, so 1, 2, 3 and 4, and then down the middle, 2, 3 and 4. We're going to have skin tone for her legs, 1, 2, and they are double banded, 3 and 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to do a skin tone crossover band here between these 3 pegs, single band, stretch it out like that, and then this bottom part of the band I'm going to flip up on top of that peg like that. The rest of these crossover bands are going to be the sparkly blue, so a single sparkly blue. Now these sparkly blues are not very good at stretching, in fact they're pretty tight. They're a silicone band, I think, and I think to twist them on themselves and pull them over is likely to break them. Yeah, that's really tight. So just gauge what band you're using as to whether you can twist it or not into to loop it on itself. If you do loop it on itself, it's going to draw her waist in, but if you've got bands like me and they're just too tight, don't worry about it and just do a single band across there like that. It's not worth breaking a band to try and make her look like she's got a really skinny waist. And the other way, if you really wanted her to look like she's got a skinnier waist, is don't use the blue bands, and if you've got clear bands, take a clear band and stretch it, figure 8, and you would put the double looped bands on this one and this one like that. Okay, and that would be your next best option. Okay, so for shoes we're doing clear for glass. Take 2 clear bands and we're going to put a hook through it and wrap it once and twice, and we're going to slide that onto 2 clear bands like that and reclaim the end of your bands onto your hook. Take another 2, slide onto your hook and wrap once and twice, but this time we're going to slide onto a pair of flesh tone bands. So slide that on. Now with the first one of flesh tone, of skin, oh my goodness, of clear, take the 2 that are closest to the end of your hook and lift them up, over and off onto the flesh tone bands. Lift the flesh tone bands off and swap places with them with the ones on the other side, and then these 2 clear bands up, over and off, so all the clear bands are now on the 2 flesh tone. Reclaim your flesh tone, and this can flip either way, left or right, depending on which foot you're doing. So we will put this at the bottom of her leg here like that. And we're going to do the same for the other side. So take 2 clear bands, wrap them once and twice, and slide onto 2 clear bands. Pretty them up a bit so they're evened out. Reclaim the end of your bands, take another 2, slide into your hook, wrap once and twice, and this time we slide onto a pair of flesh tone. Take the 2 clear that are closest to the end of the hook, up, over and off, and then we're going to hold these 2 flesh tone and swap places with the other 2, and then take these 2 clear, up, over and off, and reclaim your bands. I didn't do a good job of that, let me try again. Hey, come here you. There we are. And I'm angling it this way this time because it's going on the other side of her leg. So I'll pop that there. Now we need to do her arms. So take a flesh tone band. No, she wears white gloves, I'm sorry. 1 white band. Wrap it once, twice, 3 times. We're going to slide that onto a pair of white bands. Like that. We're going to slide these onto another pair of white bands. And then we're going to do 1 more pair of white bands. And then we'll do 2 pair of flesh tone. So now I'm on my flesh tone. And 1 more pair of flesh tone. And that can go on this shoulder here. Let's do the same again. A single white, wrap it once, twice, 3 times, slide it onto a pair of white. We'll do another pair of white and 1 more pair of white, and then we'll do 2 pair of flesh tone. So that's 1 pair, and that is 2 pair, and that's going to go on this shoulder here, like that. Now for her hair, I'm going to do a little extension, but it's not going to go from here to here, it's going to go from here to here. So take a single band of your hair colour choice and wrap it once and twice, and we'll slide that onto a pair, and we'll slide that onto another pair. If we don't have broken bands. So this little side piece is just to give the top of her head a bit of oomph, so it doesn't sort of look so much like it's drawn on with a Sharpie. So instead of where we normally put it, which is down here, we're going to add it to up here. And then I'm going to put my hook through the end cap and add the end cap where her eyes are, like that. Okay, we'll do the same on the other side. So a single band, wrap it once and twice, slide it onto a double band, and slide those onto a double band. Then we put it here, slide our hook through the end cap and stretch that end cap out to go by her eyes here. For her bun, what I'm going to do is take 5 bands, place my hook through them like this, and wrap your hook around it once like that. Then we're going to take 6 bands and place them on the end of our hook, and we're going to move those 5 bands up and over and slide them onto those 6 bands like that. We're going to take our hook out and we're going to splay this into pairs of 3s. So 3 that side and 3 that side, and it really doesn't matter if they are the same band ends or whatnot, it doesn't matter in this case. Just get 3 on one hook and use a pencil or something else, a toothpick, something to hold the other 6 or 3 bands so that they don't disappear. Okay, so I'm going to keep them like this. I'm going to take the 3 that are at the bottom nearest me up, over and off like that, and I'm going to do the same on the other side, up, over and off like that, and then I'm going to reclaim these so that they're both on the same hook. Now the reason that I've done that is so that I can splay these out a little more evenly to keep it in under control, so that it looks more like a bun rather than a snout. So that's going to be my bun, and I'm going to stick it right here on the end, and as I said, I've got silicone bands and they are tight, but that's going to go there. Alright, I think we're ready to start looming. So, going down to the bottom here, I'm going to pull her foot back and grab the 2 skin tone beige bands and loom up. Same on the other side. This one doesn't have anything to loom up with, so we just move it up. Where you have crossover bands, push the back of your hook to get them out the way, push them back and grab those 2 bottom bands and loom up. So just always push the crossover band back with your hook and get the 2 bottom bands. Dig down past the arms and find those 2 bottom skin tone bands on either side, and the middle ones, and loom up to the throat. Now we're going to dig down and find the 3 bands for the neck and loom them up. And what we're going to do, we need to go under. You can see that there's 2 parts to these 3 bands. There's the 3 at the top and the 3 at the bottom. We want our hook to go under the 3 at the bottom and to grab those black bands, well, it's 1 black band, and pull your hook around to the outside and up and over, and the black band now completely encloses those. So that's what we want to do. Then dig down here, take the 2 that are at the top and loom to the side, 2 at the top and loom to the side. These get loomed up to the hair. Now if you remember, what we normally do is take the hair off to one side. We're still going to do that. So take your hair off, hold it out to one side with your fingers off the hook, dig down, find the hair and loom that up, and then put the hair back like that, Okay, we're going to do the same on the other side. Take the hair off, hold it to the side, dig down, find the 2 blonde bands and loom up to that peg, and then we're going to put our hair back on that peg, and this just makes it a bit buffier, but all will be revealed, don't worry. Loom the centre of her face up. Now we need to loom, dig down and find these 2 side bands, so dig down, find the 2 at the very bottom on either side, like that. These middle ones are our last ones. We're going to loom it up and pop that there. Now I'm going to use clear bands because my silicone blonde ones I'm testing, and they're very tight, and we're actually going to be making them in a different kind of material. These are too tight to work with to do looping and everything, but they're fantastic as far as colour. Anyway, I'm going to dig my hook down the middle here, poke it out the side, and I'm going to grab 2 clear bands so they can be a bit hidden. I'm going to pull those up through the middle to the back of the peg, and I'm going to splay this out. Let's see if I can show you, and put my hand in the camera and I'm going to let go of that end, splay this out so that I have gone over. Do you see what I'm doing? I'm going over the bun. I'm over the bun and I'm at the back of the bun. Now I want to reclaim those 2 bands. I'm trying to do this so you can see, but I'm losing my bands. Reclaim the end of those 2 bands onto your hook, but keep the clear bands at the front behind that bun. You're going to take the ones closest to you up, over and off your hook and pull tight so that the knot is at the back of her bun. Okay, and then we're going to wrap it once around the bun, twist it into a figure 8 and knot it one more time around the bun, and we have actually secured that. We're ready now to take her off the loom. I'm using the back of a hook and I'm just gently going to ease her off, and I have to be gentle with these bands. And I'm going to ease off where I've double banded, where I've looped as well, because that's tight. Okay, so here she is off the loom, and as you can see, she looks like she's got little ears here where we've got the buff head. But what we're going to do with that is dig our hook down 2 bands here, so at the front, and we're going to wrap it around her bun like that, and then the 2 at the front here, and again pull, splay it open and wrap it around her bun like that. And I feel that just kind of brings her hair up and gives her a more full look to her head. Okay, so she needs to have her little blue headband, and we need to put that across here like that. Okay, so what I did with the other one is I actually tied in a blonde band on one side. Stop it from being so. There we go. So I need to dig down one of these bands here and grab the blue and pull it forward. And actually I want that hidden, I want that knot hidden, so I'm going to go a bit deeper so that I can hide that knot. That's better. And I want it to come through here. So I'm going to dig my hook through, grab that yellow band, if I can. Hey, I pulled it too far. And there we go. I'm going to hook that through there, like that. And again, I'm just going to loop this around her bun. Like that. And now we get to make her skirt. So this video is going to be using the standard loom. What you're going to do is take your loom and remove that middle column of pegs. Okay, you're then going to use your Rainbow Loom hook and you're going to take this part off the big base, and that's going to stay off. You've now got two columns. You're going to take one off and turn it around. Okay, so you have one column with the arrows that way and the other with the arrow the other way. Okay, one arrow that way, one arrow that way. Alright, and what we're going to do, this is going to be similar to this. As you can see, it's a bit wider, so the bands do have to stretch further across than they would here, but it's easier than if they were this close, where you can't actually squidge the dress down the middle. So this is how we're going to be working with it. When you're starting, we need 8 pegs. This little one has 8 pegs on it, so we're only going to use 8 here. You're going to take single bands and you're going to place one on one side on one peg, twist it into a figure 8 and place the other on the other side, like that. Okay, so place one side on one peg and twist it. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. So you go down the 3 there, twist it. 5, so you're coming across. 6, 7, and 8. Now it is only that first layer that you figure 8 with a twist. The other ones are just placed quite normally. So we're going to get our next layer, and it's going to be a light blue. We're going to do Cinderella's dress, and you just place it from one peg to the next. Oops. Like that. Push everything down. We're on our third layer. And you want to try and make sure that these layers do not get muddled up. You want them to be in the right order that you place them, especially when you're using the same colour. So we've got 3 layers, okay? And what you're going to do, I use the Rainbow Loom hook because it's actually got quite a deep hook on it. You're going to dig down and grab the 2 bottom bands, now in this case it's white, and lift them over. 2 bottom bands, lift over. And turn your loom around and make sure you get the 2 bottom bands and loom over. Now this is something that Justin's Toys was the creator of, I believe, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. I believe it's the Hexafish. I'm not a bracelet maker. So we've done the white, we've pulled the white all over. Now we're going to do another layer of blue, and it's all going to be blue from now on. Every layer is going to be blue, and you need 16 layers. Well, this is layer number 4. I would advise doing a little piece of paper on the side somewhere and keeping a tally of what number you're on. This is number 4. If you're like me with a memory like a sieve. Oops. So grab again the 2 bottom bands and loom them up, and make sure it's just the 2. You don't want to loom more than 2. That's more than 2. There we go. Push everything down. Now we're going to do layer number 5. Jot down that that's number 5, and again just take the 2 bottom bands and loom up. So now let's do number 6. And the 2 bottom push everything down. Number 7. Number 8. Number 9. Oops, 2 bands there. Number 10. So 6 more to do. 11. 12, 13, 14, 15, and then our last layer will be 16. Bet you're all breathing a sigh of relief. Now we're going to go round again and take off the next two so that you're only left with 2 on each peg. Oops, sorry, didn't mean to smack into the camera. So now we only have 2 bands on each peg. What we're going to do is take these off the loom and keep them on another hook. Okay, so you have them all on your hook like this, and we're going to thread these onto, now I'm going to use clear bands, 2 clear bands, and what I'm going to do is take 2, I know it's tricky to see because they're clear, and I'm going to tie a knot like that, and I'm going to thread the sparkly blue bands through. And I'm going to tie this off. So take both clear bands onto the hook, lift the one nearest to you up, over and off, and I'm going to do a little slip knot of sorts. So I'm going to go under, grab my band, and as you know I'm absolutely useless at knots, so do a knot any way you can. There we go. Pull that off and tie that in a knot. So this is the skirt, and as you can see it's a different shape really than the ones that come off the monster tail. They're sort of a bit flatter. This is one that was done on the monster tail, and this is one that's done on the loom. But once you actually put them on your spoon to place your figure on them, they kind of stretch out quite nicely into the right shape. So there you go, that is how you do a skirt on the Rainbow Loom. So we've made our doll and we've made our skirt. Now we need to get the 2 of them together. The easiest way to do it, as you saw, is with a spoon. So slide your skirt onto the spoon, and I'm trying to be gentle because I don't obviously want the bands to break, which is why I've used the clear band or a jelly band or something that's nice and stretchy is a good idea. Grab the legs of your little figure and we're going to stuff them into the bed of the spoon like this, and push her down as if she was lying in this spoon bed, like it's a bed. Okay, so push her down into that. Now as we pull this spoon out, and I'm doing it slowly and gently, the legs will come out too at the bottom here, and you can just curl this up and grab those 2 little feet and pull them out like that. Okay, and there you have her in her skirt. For the loop at the back, I'm just shoving a hook up the back here, and I'm going to just pull that inside the skirt to allow her to stand up. I mean, you can have her feet poking out so you can see her glass slippers, but when you want her to stand up, push her feet inside her skirt like that, and then she will stand up for you. Okay, so that is how we do it.